Okay, so I know that this is your favorite session. They wanted to call it recruiting. So there's only one problem with that. I don't recruit. I've never recruited. I qualify. You see, so my whole process is a qualifying process. What's the difference between you and me? Well, I guess the difference is that I told so many people about it when I was starting, when I had nothing to prove that it would work, and I told so many people where to go, that I either had to make it or leave town. Honest to God truth. The problem is that your brain is programmed wrong. You're trying to get people in for you. They don't want to get in for you, right? You're trying to get people in or sign them up, and it's meaningless. I don't try to do that at all. And you're not really programmed right. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to program your brain. Again, I tell you, Elizabeth Weber, back when I met her, and I didn't know her. Somebody led to somebody, led to somebody, led to somebody. She was an MLM floozy. And I fundamentally programmed her brain. You might say, well, what do you mean? You brainwashed her? No, actually, she brainwashed herself. But everybody's brainwashed to be something. You're brainwashed to be exactly what you are right now. And I can prove it to you because if I give you an argument that you can be different, you'll argue all night long why it's not so, because you're brainwashed. Everybody is exactly where they are in life right now because of the total input and programming into their brain. And that's the proof, okay? The only difference between me and you is my thinking. The only difference. I was as average as could be. Okay, so what you do, let me show you how you recruit. You go into work on Monday, and your upline partner, big shot, is holding a meeting at your house. And you're scared to death that you're not going to have any people there. Anybody ever feel that way? Come on! Get with me here. Let's have some fun. Come on, I know what happens. You are worried to death. You know? So you don't have many people coming. You know that they don't all show up. So you go into work Monday morning, and there is John Smith over by the copy machine that you've been working for a while. You played some summer baseball together, and you went to a fundraiser at his house one time. So you kind of feel like he owes you one. You know what I mean? So you go over and say, hey, John, you got a minute? He's by the copy machine. Say, John, I've always kind of been ambitious, and I know you do some things on the side, and you remember when I went to that fundraiser at your house? Yes. Well, I have something that I need you to take a look at, because I know that you're ambitious, and it's really a great internet type of business, and I had this guy coming over who's a big shot. He's making hundreds of thousands, and I got to have some people there. So, do you mind coming? You know, and he says, well, what is it? Oh, well, it's kind of, internet marketing and getting people on shop.com and stuff like that. And he says, well, what do you mean? It's like selling? No, it's not. It's on the internet, and, you drive traffic to it, and, I said, well, did you sell anything? Who, me? Oh, I sold a box to my mother-in-law, but she returned it. And he says, well, yeah. He said, but I know you'd be really good at it, and if you came over and you liked it and you got in, I might make money. He says, my God. Did you making any money yet? Oh, who, me? Not yet. Not yet, but other people are. And he says, I can see that you're really proud of it. I think I'll do it too. called the ashamed approach. How many people identify with that? And I just got to laugh at you. And you wonder why you're not growing or duplicating. It's all because of your brain programming and your pride in the business. It's about knowledge. It's about knowing. The only thing better than belief is knowing. You see, and when you come from that strength and confidence, you can't lose. You attract people. So I built the business with these guys down here. It was built a long time ago, I know, but I saw things. Weber. You ever hear of a Hoover vacuum cleaner? A Kirby? Well, there's a brand out called the Weber vacuum cleaner. She used to come down to Ocean City, and we'd go up on the boardwalk, and she was literally a human vacuum cleaner. Because she'd go in and make a lot of noise in the shops, and be real effervescent and real excited, and she asked them how they're doing. You making all the money you want? Looks like you're doing pretty good here. And they said, well, what do you do? She says, I show people how to make $2,100 a week part-time. And they look at her. She says, I don't really have time for you, and you probably don't qualify, but I'm here, and, give me your card, and I'll tell you something about it and see if you qualify. I mean, there was 8 people in the store. And Lauren, am I telling the truth? She walks out with 8 cards. The next place, 5. But she was so effervescent, so confident, so funny, that she literally just sucked them all up. She was supposed to go home in 2 days, but she didn't because she had to follow up, which is another part of it. Kiefer, you ain't getting away with this. I used to go down to Maryland and do meetings in this antique home, and we go to, where was it, Ocean City, Maryland, and he'd be sitting there all cocky the way he is, talking to people, and, the guy said, well, what do you do? He says, well, I own a chain of unfranchisers. They produce residual income for me. He said, well, how does that work? He says, you wouldn't be interested. You love your job too much. I was sitting right there. And, the guy said, well, maybe I would be interested. I don't love my job that much. I'm not making all that I want. He says, I'll tell you what. I don't have time for this. You write down the 5 best people you know and what they do that are successful and bring it to me and tell me about it, and I'll determine if you qualify. Holy moly. But you see, it's a brain programming. It's a consciousness. He wasn't trying to get them in. He was qualifying them. Dennis is the funniest one of all. He has all these lines, and nobody has a clue what he's talking about. But he gets them to the meeting, and the first thing he tells them, you're going to have to put 12 to 18 hours a week in this and spend over $1,000 over the first 3 months in order to earn $109,000 more per year. Are you willing to do that? I mean, that's really like punching them right in the head. But the point is, they're not recruiting, they're qualifying. Do you get this? And that's what you're doing wrong. Listen to me. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm one of the best in the world at it.